The Kushites and the Bible World. Introduction. Kush, Geography, and People. Since medieval times and the end of the Kushite kingdoms, biblical references to Kush have been overlooked and misinterpreted by biblical scholars. In classical times, Jewish scholars interpreted the word Kushite to mean beautiful. It is quoted in the Midrash that, quote, because of her beauty, she was called a Kushite. In its original meaning, Kush, also referred to as Ethiopia, Nubia, and El Habasha, refer to a certain geographical region in Africa. That is, the region of Northern Sudan. The Kushites are the people of Northern Sudan today. The Falasha of Ethiopia remain the only population with direct Kushite ancestry outside of Northern Sudan. Kushite personalities and references to Kush are found throughout the Bible. Part 1. Genesis. Kush, Nimrod, and the Kushite kings. According to the Bible book of Genesis, Kush was one of the sons of Ham. The sons of Ham: Kush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Genesis 10:6. In Genesis, Kush is directly associated with Eden. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there, it was separated into 4 headwaters. Genesis 2:10. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Kush. Genesis 2:13. Genesis points to the Kushites as the originators of the Mesopotamian civilization and to Nimrod as being from Kush. Kush was the father of Nimrod, who grew to be a mighty warrior on earth. Genesis 10:8. Genesis cites Nimrod as being the founder of a number of ancient Mesopotamian cities. A number of Kushite historical kings are listed in the Bible. The sons of Kush: Seba, Havila, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama: Sheba and Dedan. Genesis 10:7. Sabta and Sabteka in particular are identified with actual historical Kushite kings, Shabaku and Shabiktu, both kings being ancestors to Taharka. Part 2. Kings. Taharka, the savior of Jerusalem. Taharka was the Kushite king who established the 8th century BC Kushite Empire. The Kushite Empire under Taharka stretched from central Sudan to the Levant. Taharka is accredited in the Bible for saving Jerusalem from the Assyrian onslaught of Sennacherib, king of Assyria. While the Assyrians were besieging Jerusalem, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, received the report that Tirhaka, the Kushite king and ruler of Egypt, was advancing to fight him. 2 Kings 19:9. That night, the angel of the Lord went out and put to death 185,000 men in the Assyrian camp. 2 Kings 19:35. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, broke camp and withdrew. 2 Kings 19:36. The angel of the Lord mentioned in the biblical passage referred to the Kushite armies that defended Judea against the Assyrian conquest. no other than the powerful armies of Kush were capable of defeating the Assyrians at the time. Charge of horses, drive furiously, O charioteers, march on, O warriors, men of Kush and Put. Jeremiah 46:9. Without the Kushite intervention, Jerusalem would not have survived the Assyrian onslaught. Part 3. Exodus. Moses' dark complexion. The Bible implies that Moses was indistinguishable from the Egyptians and that the Midianites have identified him as an Egyptian in Exodus 2:19. Based on this, many scholars have suggested that Moses was of a dark complexion. In Islamic traditions, which are shared by older biblical traditions, Patriarch Moses is described as being dark or black skin. Based on the night journey of Al-Isra and Al-Mi'raj, Moses was described as being very dark with frizzy hair and looking like the people of Shanua, which is a Yemeni tribe of Ethiopian origins. Part 4. Numbers. Zipporah, Moses' Kushite wife. Perhaps the most important of the biblical Kushite personalities is Zipporah, Moses' wife. As written in the Bible, Aaron, Moses' brother, and Miriam, Moses' sister, objected to Moses' decision to marry Zipporah. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Kushite wife, for he had married a Kushite. Numbers 12:1. As a result, the anger of the Lord burned against them. Numbers 12:9. Thereafter, God punished Miriam with leprosy, and she became white like snow. Numbers 12:10. Aaron and Miriam spoke against Zipporah, probably out of jealousy for her closeness to Moses and possibly because of her foreign roots. It is indicated in different biblical books that Zipporah was from Midian and that her tribe was Kushite in origins. In the biblical book of Exodus, Zipporah tells Moses about her homeland in Kush. Stranger, this land is called Libya. It is inhabited by tribes of various people, Ethiopians, dark men. One man is the ruler of the land. He is both king and general. He rules the state, judges the people, and is priest. This man is my father and theirs. Exodus 60-65. Part 5. Josephus, the Queen of Mary and Moses' wife. First century historian Josephus writes about military campaigns that Moses undertook in Saba, which is, quote, a royal city of Ethiopia, which Cambyses, the king of Persia, afterwards named Mary, after the name of his own sister. Josephus 2:10-2. According to Josephus, Moses besieged the city, that is Saba or Mary, with great difficulty, quote, since it was both encompassed by the Nile quite round. Josephus 2:10-2. While besieging the city, Moses won the love of Tharbis, who is, quote, the daughter of the king of the Ethiopians. Thereafter, she asked Moses to marry her. That is found in Josephus 2:10-2. She fell deeply in love with him, and upon prevalency of that passion, sent to him the most faithful of her servants to discourse with him about marriage. Josephus 2:10-2. Josephus tells that Moses accepted the offer on the condition that the Ethiopian queen would procure delivering Saba to his army. She accepted. Josephus 2:10-2. Thus, Tharbis the Ethiopian became the first wife of Moses. According to Josephus, conquering Saba, or Mary, gave Moses a great reputation as a military commander and as the people's leader. Because of ignorance, lack of knowledge, and social stereotypes, biblical scholars continue to overlook the significant role the Kushites played in shaping the Bible world. Although rarely mentioned in contemporary biblical scholarly writings, the Kushite element remains at the center stage of all authentic biblical writings.